Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For fast and cheap coins, check out instantmudcoins.com and use code ZERK for 20% off. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over my most feared predictions. Now, I do want to give a shout out to It's Dimed for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shout out in the next video, drop a like on the video, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. So what we do know, because there was like a little article posted, I think it was over on like an EA site or something, that did reveal already that we have, in fact, next up, well, we don't know the correct order just yet, but I have a prediction I'm going to show you guys here. We have Scary Strong, Scary Fast, and Scary Tall is confirmed coming back. And when EA said this is a 4-part promo, that's really what they meant, is we have got Scary Tall coming at the end. This promo runs until the 6th, so we don't know exactly when the next, things are coming out, but I do believe that tomorrow we're gonna see something on Monday. Now, if you come over to the Boneyard Brawl solo challenge, though, you guys can see it started off with Scary Sharp. Then next up will be Scary Strong that unlocks here. So my guess is that tomorrow, guys, we're gonna get Scary Strong, and then of course Scary Fast unlocks, and maybe we see like an entirely new solo challenge sequence for Scary Tall. So I think that's the order I'm gonna kind of like put this stuff in, and that's really important because of how I think EA is going to do stuff. But I'm gonna say this right now: EA can do whatever they want, really, when it comes to like how they do the sets, or whatever. So like the logic that I use behind why I think this player can't potentially get a card or this or that, whatever, just know EA could completely switch it. So you guys can see, if we come over to the sets here for Scary Fast and Scary Sharp, I am going to predict both 92 overall players and then the 90 overall players in the set. You guys can see the 90s are current day players, but right here we have a 92 overall offensive current player for Scary Sharp and a 92 overall legend slash like flashback type player for the Scary Sharp defensive. So my guess here, they're gonna flip that every single time we get a new one. But again, it's EA, they could do whatever they want. They could just keep it rolling with this, whatever. But one thing I do want to mention here is I'm going to make a couple LTD predictions, some players I think we could see for LTDs. But here's the thing, we just got Khalil Mack on Friday, right? We have Scary Sharp out. Mack isn't really a Scary Sharp player necessarily. He would more so be along the lines like Scary Strong. So I don't think that the LTDs really matter in terms of like, oh, it's Scary Fast, oh, it's time for a fast LTD. They can put out whatever LTDs they want, really. So I think that the LTDs are going to be kind of whatever EA wants to do, but I'm going to try my best to predict the sets, and obviously we already know of a bunch of players that already got revealed, which I did a big video on before the Most Feared promo came out, and I'm going to go over all those players well as I go through the sets. But let's get into the Scary Strong. So talking about Scary Strong, what players do I think we could potentially see? So, for the 290 overall players, I went through and I was thinking, okay, what players could we see for Strong? I went over to Mudhead, I started by Strong, and I was taking a look at some decently high overall players, and I found one that I think we're going to see. Matthew Ioannidis for the Washington football team. He's only an 80 overall, but he has like one of the highest strengths for defensive linemen. Then they could go with someone else, maybe a bigger name, whatever, but I think it makes sense. He's a really low overall and that highest strength. He could potentially just get a 90 overall upgrade. Now, as for another player I think we could see, maybe we don't, maybe he's too big of a name to throw on here as a 90 overall, but Thielen's a pretty big name too. It would be Quentin Nelson. I think Quentin Nelson could potentially see a 90 overall, but as I said, I think they're going to switch this around, so I think that the current day player is now going to be on defense, and the flashback would be on offense. Now, a player that we already know that got revealed is Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald makes some pretty good sense here, right, to go ahead and get the 92 overall Scary Strong Master. Now, Donald is, like, it makes sense to give him the 92, but at the same time, Donald is like always an LTD when it comes to Most Feared, so do not be surprised at all if we just see Donald thrown in here as a Most Feared Master. If you see him thrown as an LTD, if we don't see Donald as the Master, then I don't really know who else they could be. Like, there's a lot of players they could potentially be for Scary Strong, honestly. Just about any strong player on defense. But to me, it makes sense if they're going to go with some of the players they revealed here for it to be Donald. And as for the offensive master, there is one thing I need to show you guys right now, and that is going to be my team to show you something that I have personally been waiting on. I think now is the perfect time for EA to do it for Scary Strong. You'll notice one gap in my team. What is the outlier on my offense? Right guard. Why am I missing a right guard? Why do I only have 88 overall Zach Martin? Because currently, the best right guard in the game would either be the 89 overall Saints, Jari Evans, I think his name is, or you could go with Larry Allen for the Legends, right? I think now is when they're going to go ahead and with Scary Strong, drop the offensive player as a right guard. Maybe nothing too flashy, right? But the issue is here, who could they go with that's Scary Strong at right guard if they do right guard, right? It only makes sense for Larry Allen. But at the same time, Larry Allen is like historically known to be one of the strongest players in NFL history. Larry Allen, as I said, is the only legend right guard that we have right now. So you would think they want to add in like other right guards into the game, but I actually went back to like Madden 20, went back to Madden 19, everything. I sort of by strength looked at right guards, and Larry Allen's always like the strongest right guard. So to me, it only makes sense to get a Larry Allen upgrade here, but at the same time, maybe they give us a different right guard, right? Because, I mean, does it make sense for Larry Allen being the only legend right guard to just get another upgrade? I mean, I guess it could for EA, but you think they want to add another players. So now let's get into Scary Fast, and let's go over, again, a couple players that EA revealed. So for the 290s, I think there is a decent chance here that it's players that EA revealed themselves. Number one, Henry Ruggs. I don't think Ruggs is going to get a 92 overall card. I think Ruggs is going to slide in at a 90. By the way, I also know that we have like Cauldron players, like the Cam Jordan, all those guys. Maybe some of these players that EA revealed, they're going to be Cauldron players. Maybe Ruggs is a Cauldron player. I'm not too worried about it because, again, that's completely random. They can do whatever they want for the Cauldron guys. I don't care to predict those. But Henry Ruggs here, I think he's going to get a 90 or a Cauldron potentially. And as for the other one, and this is one that I could definitely be wrong about because maybe we see him as an LTD. I feel like he's a big enough player to be an LTD, but I think he only has like an 82 overall card. That would be Jair Alexander. And to be honest, I would be a little disappointed to see him as a 90 overall because I feel like Jair at a 92 would be like potentially the best corner in the game. Like he's super, super fast and he could also have pretty good coverage stats. I feel like Jair could be potentially the best cornerback in the game if he is in fact a 92 LTD, but he's not going to get a MasterCard if they use logic here, or at least use my logic, I suppose, or just keep it the same way it looks like they're going to be doing it, how they've done it in years past, where they flip it here. This would mean that the current day player, the 92 overall master, is going to be back to offense for Scary Fast. Which, if that is the case, the one player I think we could potentially see, and some of you may be surprised, I don't think it's going to be Tyreek. Now, the only reason I'm not going to put Tyreek Hill here, and it most definitely could be, okay? We're getting Henry Ruggs. We already know of him confirmed. So we're already getting a super fast wide receiver. Now, could they go with Tyreek? Yes, easily they could go with Tyreek here, right? But we also know DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is confirmed for this promo as well. So, and I kind of think we're going to get another player here. I'll talk about that I think we could potentially see here for Scary Tall. I think that it's going to be Kittle. I think Kittle makes sense. We have a lot of good tight ends in the game, but Kittle doesn't really have a big upgrade yet. He only has the Team of the Week upgrade. I think George Kittle for the offensive Scary Fast makes sense. Now, defensively, who could we potentially get here? I think it's probably either going to be a corner or just a big name player. I think someone we could potentially see sliding here, maybe he's going to be part of the 50 promo, honestly, would be Julius Peppers, but we already have a bunch of pass rushers and everything, and then I'm thinking cornerback. Who could potentially be a corner? Really, there's only two cornerbacks that off the top of my head I think of that are fast, right? Or really three, because we already have Deion Sanders. Deion's one I was thinking of, but we already have Deion, obviously. If they're going to go with a corner, I think it's between two players. Darrell Green, because obviously he's always one of the fast players, but he's like 5'8", I think, right? Really, really small, super fast, but just really, really small. Or Champ Bailey, maybe, but Champ they usually save for MasterCard type stuff, so, I mean, he could fit in here, but if we're talking about Scary Fast, obviously fast corner would be Darrell Green. Maybe they use Champ, one of those two, or maybe Julius Peppers. And on to Scary Tall to end it off. And as I said, I think they're going to alternate here. So Scary Tall for the current player, I think is going to be someone on defense. And then Scary Tall for the flashback or, the legend, whatever, would be offense. So as for my set players, and again, I think this is someone that could be either a set player or potentially get an LTD, Calais Campbell. I think Calais Campbell makes too much sense for Scary Tall. He's always been in most feared. He could be here. And one player that I think a lot of people are actually kind of excited about, that I think we could see, and pretty random, to be honest, for my offensive player, because we just have so many wide receivers and everything. By the way, I'm going to throw this in here right now. Hopkins, the player they revealed, I think is just going to be an LTD at some point in this promo. I think we have a ton of wide receivers coming, and maybe even one more I'm about to talk about. But I think for the 90 overall set player, I think we could see Justin Herbert. That sounds a little weird, right? To see another quarterback. We already have Russell Wilson. But Herbert makes sense because this dude is tall. Justin Herbert is 6'6", so kind of my one out of the blue, I guess, right? I think we may see Justin Herbert as a 90 sets. And on to my master cards here for who I think we can potentially see for Scary Tall. Now, I have a couple different thoughts here when it comes to Scary Tall in terms of the master offensively. It really could be like 3 different players, to be honest here, but I think it is going to be a wide receiver. Now, the 2 obvious picks are Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson. Without a doubt, could easily be them. I would personally like to see probably Calvin. I think that we could see both of those guys, honestly, in the 50 promo if EA wanted to do that. We may see Moss in the 50. I think it could be Calvin. We've seen most feared Calvin before. Now, someone else, though, that we already know is confirmed to be in Madden 21 and also could be a part of the 50 promo, to be completely honest as well, is Brian Finneran. Brian Finneran is extremely tall and will make sense as a tall master, but if they want to go with someone more hyped up here, I think it makes sense to go with like Calvin Johnson. And for the other 92, I'm going with a player that we already know is confirmed in this promo because he was on one of the Pumpkins EA revealed, Richard Sherman, 92 overall as the current day defensive guy. So with that being said, guys, those are my predictions for the rest of the promo. And as I said, the LTDs, they could go with literally whoever they potentially want to. And there's a couple players that I put in the sets at 90 overalls because they have like 86 overall cards, right? So a 90 makes sense for like Calais Campbell, but he's a big enough name to where he could easily get a limited time card. We already know that Donald's going to be in here. I really wanted to put Tyreek in these predictions, to be completely honest with you guys, but we already have Hopkins, we already have Henry Ruggs, and I really feel like for Scary Tall, it makes sense to give us like a Calvin or Finneran or Moss or someone, so I didn't want to put another wide receiver into this promo. We already have a 90 overall Thielen as well, so I don't know. So with that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like on the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. Let me know down below your guys' predictions. I'm sure I'm going to be wrong on a lot of these, but it's EA. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.